All right, let's get it. The Formula Podcast, episode 3. I'm RJ Deed, Content Factory Media Group.
And I'm Gary Lima, First Step Legal Solutions.
Yeah, and we're here to give you the best of both worlds. You know, you got the marketing, you got lawyers, you know what I mean? So we're going to put together and make this formula to success, formula to basically running your business. And we're just going to give you just real life experiences from our experiences working in building our business over the past 5-6 years.
Yeah. Not only that, but we're building our business, our personal experience, as well as we advise businesses too. You with the marketing, me with the legal. So we've seen a wide variety of businesses, and we just want to share that with you and really get to the formula of success, formula of business, formula of life. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Yeah, man. So what are we going to start it off with today?
I came across a quote, right?
Yeah.
And this quote was by Gustav Flaubert. He said, "There is no truth, only perception." Right? And what I gathered from that is sometimes you'll have, in my world, you go to a courtroom, you have two people arguing to get down to what the truth of the matter is, right? I got my side, and the other attorney got their client's side. And we all given our perception to a judge or to a jury to figure out what the truth is. We do that through evidence. We do that through different arguments and what makes sense. But when it comes to like real life, though, from things that you believe in, like let's say like God, your family, your values, everybody perceives that so different. So what is the truth behind a lot of different things? And I know that ties into the formula because we can go to the land of the truth, social media. I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? That's all lies over there. It's all about perception. Perception. What is the truth? You know, people post certain things. People do certain things on social media. People have certain like gimmicks or sometimes they don't have gimmicks. Sometimes they're straight shooters and they give what their products and services actually are. And but what works? I mean, this is really your world. I'm stepping into your world, the marketing, advertising space. The whole thing is perception. What happens in front of the camera, behind the camera, before you turn on the camera, and all those different things. So, it's perception is huge. You know what I'm saying, in the business world, because if people don't perceive you a certain way, they won't rock with you. They won't buy from you. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the biggest things about perception. That I'm one of the biggest businesses that capitalize on perceptions, like McDonald's, right? They don't have the best food in the world, but somehow they stay popping up, and they're a billion, if not $1 trillion company, or they're $1 billion company doing their thing. So we can explore some perception today and add that to the formula that we built.
Yeah, 100%, man. So yeah, talking about perception, even online, social media. I mean, perception is everything, right? So answer the question, how do you want to be perceived? You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
You start there,
Yeah.
you know. And that goes before you even get to social media. That goes from your style of dress, right?
Oh, snap, yeah.
And it goes to your style of how you do your beard, your hair, all that.
I ain't got no more hair,
but that goes into the whole perception, right? Into like how you want to be portrayed.
Yeah.
And will people accept this as, is this the lawyer look? You know, if I was to walk up to somebody and say, hey, I'm a lawyer, would they believe I'm a lawyer? Because now I have, I went bald.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So like even before you even get online, you're somewhat mindful of like how you're dressing to represent you as a person and also your career. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that's like first thing first, you know what I mean? You automatic before you even step out the door. Yeah. You're mindful of the perception that you're putting out in the world and how you want to be perceived.
That's huge.
You know? So I would say that's the same thing online. You got to take that and be mindful online as well, right? 100%. You know, some people want to be perceived as the baddest dude in the neighborhood. So, you perceive that online. You post some pictures, drinking Hennessy. You feel what I'm saying? On the block, you feel what I'm saying? With the hammers out and everything like that. Yeah. Or even if you do that, but you want to be perceived as someone that's trying to do good, you just wouldn't post those certain things. You'll be like, okay, I'm going to post me doing something good in the community. Me sitting down talking with an elder, or me sitting down talking with a youth, or me playing basketball with the youth, or me at church or something like that. So it's like, how do you want to be perceived online? And have you made that decision, you know, especially when it comes to business, how do you want your business to be perceived? And then in business, it's like, by who? You know what I mean? Because it's a business. So who do you like? So how do you want the people that's going to be potentially working with you? How do you want them to perceive you? So in business, it kind of takes another layer where it's like, okay, how do I want to be perceived? And like, how do I want those people that's visiting my website, that's going to my social media, you know, do I want them to feel like, hey, this is a guy I want to work with? Or do I want to go to this page and be like, I don't know.
Man, something you said really sparked a memory in my head. Shout out to FAMU College of Law. Shout out to Professor Reyes. She was my evidence teacher. And she was breaking down, you know, all these different rules of evidence, like a brick is not a wall. If you know, you know. But one thing that she drove home as far as like character evidence and those different things is opinion versus reputation, right? So an opinion is one person's idea of you, whereas reputation is stronger because that's a group of people or community's perception of you from there. So when you say how you want to be perceived and then by whom, that's such a great question because in the business world, we have a target audience, right? What do we want our reputation to be? Because opinions could differ, right? This person didn't like my hamburger. This person didn't like my car wash. This person loved my cupcakes. Those are opinions, but reputation, like McDonald's, we know, audience, you know, you go to McDonald's, you know what kind of fries you're going to get. That's their reputation. You know what kind of Big Mac you're going to get. You know how strong that Sprite is, you know what I'm saying, all those Twitter threads. We know, you know what I'm saying, that's the reputation. And then and we're building that. So within that, the segue, how do you build a brand? You know, with that reputation, like how do you build that? Let's say you have a solid reputation, but how do you get to a point of a McDonald's, a Walmart, a Publix, for people to rely on, like, hey, this is what I do and this is what I recognize as whatever service or good that you're selling.
Yeah, I mean it's no like shortcut to it. You know what I mean?
Give us the formula on building a brand.
I had to put that out there because a lot of people want like some type of 1 month or 3 month antidote to building a brand online. Yeah, you know, it takes time to build that brand. It takes time to build that trust. Yeah, and I would start with the very beginning. The very most important thing is to document it. Okay, you know, and I say like document it through. If somebody's saying that you have a good reputation, ask them for a Google review or ask them for a review on your page. So now that's documented that, hey, I have a 5-star review from. A lot of times I feel like we focus on doing the work and we don't focus on documenting the work. You feel what I'm saying? So document the work that you're doing as well on photo, video, your experience while doing the work, while going through the process of learning and growing your business, your testimonials from your clients, documenting all that stuff. And then posting it, right? So documenting, then posting it. But the thing is that you have to do that over a time span. You got to look at it as I always try to frame them like this. Look at it as a year game plan. Like how do you want to perceive? How you want to be perceived? And by whom? And what kind of posts can we feel like will appeal to the people we want to work with or the people we want to be affiliated with or, you know what I mean? Whatever, right? Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's the plan. Now we have to stick to this plan, post consistently on our platforms and pay attention to the feedback loop. You know what I mean? So like, that's really what it kind of comes down to. It's like, okay, now I went through the first phase of like documenting, which is documenting my process, documenting these testimonials and my clients' experiences. These are things you can do with your own phone. Yeah. You don't have to always hire a production team to do that. Nice. When you're ready, when you get to that third year or that second year and you have more of a marketing budget, then you could hire a production team to then handle all of those things of documenting your series, documenting your work process, the end results, your client feedbacks and all that, posting on your social media and things like that. Then you could get a team to do that. But in the beginning, I say you have to document it and post consistently. Okay. Build that name and that brand and that reputation. Yeah. over time by staying consistent. Like reputation is like really staying consistent.
Yeah.
So when it comes to branding, for me, I always try to stay closer to something that's organic or something that's just real or authentic to me. Yeah. Because I feel like if I have to wake up and pretend to be somebody else every day, it's going to be hard to do that over a long period of time. Oh man! Right? Yeah. So when it goes to branding your business or branding your personal brand, it's trying to make it closer to authentic to what you enjoy doing or what you like, what inspires you, or something that's like it's easy for you to create content on, and it's you.
Yeah.
So it's easy to kind of like stay consistent, which then builds that reputation. You know what I mean? Like people then build that trust, and then they start liking, and trust you, and then they're like, you know what? I'm gonna call them and see if he can help me out with my social media.
Man, you broke down so many things, and just to make it all clear. So we're talking about building a brand, staying consistent with it, being true to yourself, so people can trust it and they can rely on it, and that's how you build that reputation. How you build a brand? You don't broke the whole thing down right there, and that takes a certain amount of time. Like everybody's different, right? As far as how long that takes. Yeah.
I think it does vary, but I always like to say like to build your reputation, man. Come on, that's like it takes at least 2 years.
Okay.
You know, so I feel like a lot of times people hunt with the mindset of like I got to eat right now.
Yeah.
You do have to eat right now, but you have to start building your reputation right now too. You have to start building your brand right now. So you start small, even though it might take 2 years, but a lot of times success is not like just like a elevator up, elevator two. You know what I mean? It's not like you know, a lot of times it's like working out. You don't see the results every single day from you working out and training.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, then boom, you see the results after 2 years. It's like business is flowing because it's all of that compound effect of all of that network and all of those people you've been meeting, all of those relationships you've been keeping over that time period. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like that's really what it is. It's trying to try to keep a pace that you can handle over a long time period, rather than saying, okay, I'm gonna do 5 posts a day.
Yeah.
Are you realistically gonna do 5 posts a day for the next year?
Yeah.
I don't think nobody's gonna do 5 posts a day.
That's like they ain't 1,700 posts.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever even took 1,700 pictures yet.
That's a lot, bro.
Yeah, that is a lot.
You know,
you gotta be sustainable as well.
You gotta be sustainable, man. Gotta be sustainable and authentic, man.
Yeah.
Sustainable and authentic.
Yeah.
And you just gotta do the work. You know, like that's why I'm working with a couple of local video production agencies. And you know, that's kind of like where I start with. It's like, okay, who do you want to work with? It's like, all right, cool. You want to work with, you know, whatever companies, right? So now I'm gonna go to your website. Let's see if that reflects that. You feel me? Do your work or do your posts reflect the type of people you want to work with?
Wow. Yeah.
You know, so that's just as easy as just looking at the facts. Like, let's look at your page. Your page look very, you know what I mean? Like it's all mixed in. You got a bunch of stuff going on. You got drone shots. But you're trying to do animal pictures, or you're trying to do like maternity photos or whatever. Like make your brand towards who you want to.
So that way that target audience can perceive you as somebody who can do business with.
Yeah.
There it is. I do want to hit on something that you did talk about as an attorney. So I gotta say this. This is not legal advice. All right. So we just talking here. I'm just on this podcast. This is not legal advice again, but I'm gonna give y'all some advice anyway. Marketing. When you do your taxes, it is a tax deduction. And I gotta throw my hat in the ring too. When you come to your lawyer, tax deduction. When you go to your accountant, tax deduction. What is a tax deduction? Anything used to further your business. If you can relate it back to your business, then you're good. I've advised people who, let's say like a music producer who's getting a chain. I told them, look, don't get the chain with the symbol on it. Get the chain with your name on it. It's like, why do that? That's marketing. Boom. It's like, what? You can write that off. What is a write-off? A deduction. And that's going to reduce your tax liability, right? So, and that's huge because we're talking about marketing budgets, right? How are we going to spend our money? Anytime you talk about money, you have to talk about tax. You got to talk about that family member that we all hate. He comes around Easter time. His name is Uncle Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who invited him, but he gonna come every single year, and he gonna eat. And you better make sure he fed, because he gets a little angry. I don't play with the IRS. You call me on anything else, don't call me with no tax. Don't call me with no tax trouble. But when it comes down to that marketing budget, right, and you're breaking all that down, what is a good marketing budget? You know, some people start off a new business. Let's say it's a side hustle turning into a new business. They made like $15K for the year, $10K for the year. How much should they spend on that versus somebody who's a full-time entrepreneur? They bringing in 50, 60, 100K a year. How much should they put into marketing?
How much you said they doing a year?
I mean, let's say an average entrepreneur, they doing their thing. They're like in year 5, year 6, they bringing in 100K. They're bringing in 75K, something like that.
Okay.
How much should they put into marketing?
Okay. I mean, from research, right? They say that most businesses invest about 10% into marketing.
Yeah.
The company, so you can say anywhere between 10 and 20%.
Okay.
Depends on how much you believe in your brand and how fast you're trying to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to market your brand in order to get some sales.
Exactly.
So that's the number one thing is like, yeah, you have a good company, you're able to produce a good service. That's great. Now you want to bring in a lot more clients. You want to be able to handle, you know that you can handle the workload of, you know, more work.
Yeah.
So now that's why you're trying to increase sales.
Yeah.
The only way you can increase sales is through marketing. So it's like, okay, how much work can I realistically take on and still provide that level of quality of service?
Yeah.
Per day, per month, you know, per week. What does that look like for you?
Yeah.
And then let's set a goal. You know, like, okay, if we're doing $100,000 a year, and you're seeing, let's say you're seeing 10 clients a day, and you're trying to get to, you know, 20 clients per day, right? So that's you trying to jump up to doing 100,000 a year to 250,000 a year.
Yeah.
So your marketing budget your marketing budget should match your goal of like where you're trying to get to, right? Yeah. So if you're trying to get to, you know, 250,000 a year, so your marketing budget should be about like 25,000 for that year. You feel me? To be able to create the content that you need to be able to like post online. So first is the content strategy side of it. Then you go into the content creation, and then you actually got to post this and, you know, pay ads or whatever it is. Get the content in front of people. Okay. So for any business that's starting out, I know a good starting range is between you could say 18 and 30 for the year. Okay. You know, that's a good starting point because it gives you a chance to get real results. Big facts. You know, you know, it's hard to get real results with like, you know, a small budget because it's only what really are you going to be able to do?
Yeah, people put $50 on an Instagram ad and like, oh, it didn't work, and it's just one time. You know what? And you talking about 2 years, and he did one post, and they did it for 2 days or something, and then like, you know, it doesn't work. Yeah. You know, so you gotta be able to invest even more in your brand, and even more into your business. That's definitely good stuff there.
Yeah, it's a longer route because you have to actually put in the work. Yeah, you know, you're putting your money into it, but you got to put your time and energy into it as well. You know what I mean? So you're paying for a service. Like, okay, I'm gonna sign up for this contract with you for the year. You know, let's sign up, man. 30,000. Let's go. We're gonna go to work. Yeah, we're gonna focus on getting our content, building our brand. You know, how do we want to be perceived? Yeah. Who we want to be perceived to? Let's start building that up. Let's build that library that represents our company. Yeah. Right? It's like, cool, let's start, let's do it. But then it's like, now it's time to put in the work. Now it's time to collaborate. Now it's time to have feedback. You know, when we send you the projects, now you have to have feedback. Now you have to actually show up on set and perform and all that stuff. That takes energy and work. So you got to be in that right mind frame and have enough, like, a lot of times, sometimes you got to have like a team around you that could help you out with other things while you're focusing on the marketing. That's they're handling the operations of things. So now that gives you enough free time to like handle marketing stuff, some sales and things like that. Really just marketing, because a lot of most entrepreneurs, they're really busy in the business, working in the business, you know. So like, you know, once you start having employees or part-time people that could come in and help you with the operations of things, that then frees you up to be able to you know, do work with like a company to create those marketing materials, so that way you could, you know, bring in more sales.
Big facts. And we touching on another word, delegation. I know you work with businesses and you see people try to be their own marketing team. I work with businesses and I see people try to be their own lawyer. Don't do that. Nah. Don't do that. Delegate the task. Delegate means let somebody else do it, so that we can free up, like you said, free up your time so you can focus on your business and what you do. And we breaking it down. So we know perception is key. Perception is valuable, right? Somebody, especially like, let's say like the music industry, you gotta have a chain. You gotta drive a certain car. I think Drake was talking about he spent his last dollar on like renting a Bentley, or rode some expensive car, just to look like he was doing something, until he got signed and things started really going. And he felt like him having that image really helped out his career. And marketing is key, and we spend in our bottom dollar for it. We see it on Instagram. We see on what people post on Instagram, how they post, whatever it is they're trying to attract. But it breaks down real. Since you're the expert here, like these bots, right? I'm on my story. I see these crazy names following me all the time, or liking my stuff, and all these bots. And I know people pay for bots. I know J. Cole. I can't quote J. Cole right now, but people paying for streams and all different things, like these manufactured, boosted likes and things of that nature. Like, what's your thoughts on those things?
Yeah, I mean, just to touch, before I get into that, just to touch on, like, even with the artists that want to have the chain or rent the Bentley for the weekend, I feel it's like focusing on what's important. You feel me? It's like focus on that product. That product gonna shine pretty bright. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Focus on that formula, and it's gonna be right. You know what I mean? What you can get all types of ketchup. They got Heinz ketchup out there, right? Yeah. Everybody's buying Heinz ketchup, right? Yeah. Because they got that formula, right? You know what I mean? Or whatever, ragu. Right. Yeah. Whatever product or service you usually go to. Yeah. The owner of ragu ain't have to pull up in a Bentley coupe for you to cop it.
That's facts. You don't even know who the owner is, right? Yeah. We don't even know.
You know? Yeah. So like now you'll see a lot more rappers focusing on just the product itself and creating that product and staying consistent with that product and making it more sustainable. Because that a lot of times doing that is really good, unless you have a lot of money to just, you know what I mean? Because then it won't be sustainable. And then it's the same thing with the bots. It's like, how do you want to, like, what's the goal behind getting the bots? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'll try and start there. Sometimes people want to have 100,000 views for people to value their perception or their views or whatever their opinions are, or to get other people to buy into their brand. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then the engagement is super low. You know, it's a bunch of Asian people. It's not, like, each one of your videos is not getting any views. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Because you took a shortcut, and there's no real shortcut to it. Yeah. You know, and that's why I started it off with. There's no shortcut to this. At all. So it's like you wanna buy influence. You know what I mean? But you gotta earn influence. You feel what I'm saying? So you gotta take the longer route of, like, first, who do I want to add value to online, right? Then create the photos and videos and the captions and stuff that would inspire them, would encourage them, would give them insights and tips on things that could help them in what they're trying to do in their world. You feel what I'm saying? Stay committed to trying to add value to whoever's watching or going onto your post. Then you pay attention to how they engage with your post. You pay attention to their feedback. You pay attention to how they engage, and then you go back to the drawing board. Say, you know what? I noticed that they like this type of stuff. Yeah. I noticed they engage a lot with this type of stuff. Let me go into my mind and see if I could create more stuff that's valuable to them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, okay, that process of creating that great content and understanding your feedback, that's when you start seeing a Gary Vee, when he's at 5 million, 10 million followers. But now you want to, because you just starting out and you see Gary Vee, you didn't understand his whole journey of getting to that point. He understand his audience in and out.
Yeah.
Because he's been building his content for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah.
Listening to the feedback. So now he has an authentic tribe. He has a real following.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has a real voice. He was able to develop his voice. He understands his audience. He knows how to give value to that audience.
Yeah.
He knows how to talk to them.
Yeah.
Right? So if you buy bots to get to 10 million views, just like Gary V, a couple things you missing. You both had the same amount of followers.
Yeah.
But he understands his voice. He understands his audience. He knows how to give value. He's really in it he's really in it for the long haul. He's really in it for his people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big difference.
Yeah.
Between the Gary V that's on it every single day dropping value.
Yeah.
Compared to you dropping a post once a week, once a month.
Yeah.
Thinking, you behind in front of the Bentley with the jewelry on, or you on another expensive trip somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not authentic.
Dang. You can't even keep it up.
You can't
even keep it up because they're not going to follow it. And then you're not going to get the business that you need to keep it up anyway. Whereas someone like Gary Vee, he can do that anytime, all the time. Because like you say, he knows the audience is being himself. They fell in love with him as opposed to people fall in love with like your followers, your bots, your whatever. So it's constantly producing an endless source as opposed to you hot for a day.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah. It's kind of like how in person, you got to look at online as how you interact in person. You got to think about your peoples in person. If it's like, damn, you was able to link up with your dog, your homeboys every week. Y'all build a relationship. Y'all end up going on certain trips, or y'all be involved with certain things. Y'all build a relationship over time. That's how you build a relationship with your friends, your homeboys, your family. That's how you build a relationship. So when you online, you're building a relationship with not just 1-to-1, but like 1 to 1,000,000 people. So you got to be real with them too. You know what I mean? They're gonna know that, okay, this person is just he just here for this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But if you actually building a relationship with them, building content, listening to them, creating content for them, staying consistent, then it's gonna be like the relationship kind of grows. You know, it's just like any relationship. It's no different from interactions in person. It's just like when you online, you got to do the same thing, bro. You got to show up every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people might say like, oh damn, RJ is such and such, but they know one thing about RJ, he's gonna probably be there working almost every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if he's not, he making some kind of moves or making some type of connections. Big facts. So it's like that got to stay consistent in person, and then you got to reflect that what you're doing online. You know what I mean? Okay. So that's one of the main. And I was just talking with a company the other day. I was like, yo, your work is so great. It's just time for your branding to reflect the work that you're already doing, because you're already doing. You don't even need you're doing it. Yeah. Yeah. You're doing it on a high level. Now let's show the world that you're doing it on that high level.
I see, like marketing is another form of like communication. End of the day, like you can have a great product, you can have a great service, but the world don't know about it. If you don't know how to show the world in a good way or a great way, then you're gonna keep that secret to yourself. You can't communicate it.
Yeah, 100%. And then I just want to go back and say, like, even when I was saying those numbers on marketing, it's just a hypothetical number, right? Because it got companies, these big companies, that's spending millions on marketing, hundreds of thousands on marketing a year. Easy. I was just giving a hypothetical for a small company, you know what I mean? That's grinding, that's trying to come up and trying to do something. Like, yo, realistically, you could start with something, but then what is that something? You know what I mean? Put aside, 10% of what you're making each month towards your marketing, your content team. Yeah. You're making your $10,000 a month. Put aside $1,000 a month towards some photographers and video people to make some content for you. Yeah.
There's a lot of money behind marketing. Like you say, those big corporations, of course, in your industry as well, marketing and advertising. And when I'm blending that with the legal side as well, you can talk about like trademarks. Like I'm on the mic right now. I can say ba da ba ba ba. Everybody know what that means. I could go dun dun. Everybody know that's Netflix. Or I could go. I can't even do the little what's it called? Law and Order. The sound, whatever. Like those sounds, those words. When you see that swoosh, that's Nike. When you see those 3 stripes, that's Adidas. It's all marketing, and they fight they fight like only the law stops them from throwing hands, but they fight in that courtroom to make sure that they carve out a lane for themselves, protecting their words, protecting their trademarks. Like McDonald's, they own MC. You can't make nothing out here without McDonald's permission. McMuffin, McThis, McThat, whatever it is, and that's all part of their brand as well, and protecting it from a legal standpoint too. So building that brand, protecting that brand legally, and that's all going to add on to that reputation as well that we're getting at too. So we have this, somebody who made a product or a service, they got the branding right, they getting their perception to the world right, and this is a very common problem among entrepreneurs. When is it good? When is my business okay? Like all these things are happening. Let's say I'm making some money, I'm paying off some debts, things are rolling. But when at what point is my business good? I know that's a really general, broad question, but like, what are your thoughts on that?
I say pay attention to, like I said, that feedback loop, you know. What I try to do is, let's say every year, I try to interview some of my past clients, like 5 of them, 3 of them, 2.
Yeah.
And then I have I have a set questions that I write down my questions so I can make sure I'm trying to get as much information just to make sure that we can serve them better next year or serve whoever we're working with better next year. So just to get that feedback. So that's what I try to do first, man, get some feedback from the actual people that you're providing the service for and try to get them to be as honest as possible with you about your service, how you delivered it to them, things you could improve on, things that you could have done faster, communications that you could have improved on, emails that you could have sent. You know what I mean? Things like that. That's what helped me implement certain emails and have certain steps of communications and things like that. So, and then they'll let you know. That's how you know you got a good service. They're going to let you know you have a great, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to let you know. That's the main thing. Like, you got to, like, you can't just make something and force it on people and say, hey, this is a good business.
Yeah.
You know? That's the only way you're going to know if it's a good business. Look at the feedback. Look at how people react to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if it's a good burger, you can't just say it's the best burger you ever had.
Yeah.
Nah, let them eat the burger and watch how they react.
Yeah.
Just give them the burger and just look at them. No facial reaction, no smile, just look at them.
Look at them. That's real. That's real though. Yeah. Because they the people consuming the product or the service, so they got to give you that feedback. That's real. That's real. Yeah, 100%. And I guess my take on it too, like as far as when you realize you have a good business, of course that feedback as well. But what is your scoreboard? A couple of years ago, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was asking like, okay, you're a business owner, you're doing X, Y, and Z. Like, what is success to you? I was like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's a scoreboard for me. It's the bank account. That's my scoreboard. Like, if I'm making money, then I have a good business. But he's like, but is that why you started your business? You know, I'm like, no, I could do a million things to get money. You know what I'm saying? So why do we start? And I think once we get our mission across, you know, and that part of that is marketing. Once you can show people that you are doing what it is that you say that you're doing and you're affecting the target audience that you want to affect, you're impacting the communities that you want to affect. In addition to, you got to talk about money. In addition to making enough money to sustain yourself, whatever your lifestyle is, I think that's the definition of success, or that's how you know you have a good business. You know, and that not to say that if you're not there yet that you don't have a good business, but you need to see tangible, and as you say, documented proof that something is going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Whether that be a check, whether that be people giving you good feedback. Like, you need something to hang your hat on, because you can't, like you said, like, this is a good business. This is a good burger. You can't even do that to yourself. You got to prove to yourself with documentation, with statistics, with feedback, with quantitative and qualitative data. Quantitative is the numbers. You know, how much money you got coming in, what your expenses, gross revenue, all that financial stuff. Qualitative is what we're talking about now. My clients feeding back, like giving me words of feedback, or positive or negative reviews. You know what I'm saying? We need both of those things to substantiate, to give ourselves evidence, attorney, of course, to give ourselves evidence that we have a good business. And I think that all plays into it.
Yeah, especially like definitely income. You know if you have a good business. You know, look at year 1, year 2. Did we grow? Year 3, did we go? Did we go up? Did we go back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like year 4, like are we going up? Where are we going? Like what's the trajectory? Like if we keep going up, obviously it's a good business.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, what we do with that? And then I like how you touched on, you said the business side, and what was the money side of it, and then it was the other side of it that you touched on,
like the qualitative feedback.
Yeah, so you had the income side, you had the feedback side, and you had another one that you touched on.
What was I touching on just now? We gotta loop it back and see.
loop the camera back. But nah, man, that's definitely that's really just an easy way to look at it and just be like, okay, where am I with this? Oh yeah, that's what it was, the impact.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because it's not necessarily about the money. It's like what's success to you, and you have to make. So my main thing, even for me, was like to create a opportunity for creatives to be able to make a living doing this, right? Because I know the struggle of like trying to find a job in the creative industry, trying to build your name in that industry. So it was like, okay, making sure that we're staying in that realm. So it's like, okay, yeah, we're doing the work, but then implementing that it's a certain amount of hours being spent towards making that kind of impact. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, okay, we're moving, we're growing, and we're still making that impact. And by growing and bringing in income, now you're able to make a bigger impact because now you can still, you know what I mean? Like you can't make a real investment or impact on your community if you can't even like monetarily give them an investment of some sort. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So you touch on like what's your why type of thing, right? Like, why are you doing this? I want to ask you, what's your why? You know what I'm saying? You're touching on making opportunities for creatives and things, but I guess go ahead and drop on us like why you do what you do.
Yeah, man. The main thing, bro, I would say that is this thing is built as a solution for a young guy like me. You know what I mean? Young immigrant from Jamaica trying to understand how it is to live in America, trying to fit in, right? That led into different directions that's not the best directions. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. And then being able to have an opportunity to grow. So it's like, how could we? The question I was asking myself the other day was like, how can we create an atmosphere that people can thrive in? How can we create the right soil that if it was a young man like myself at 15, 16, looking for an opportunity to express his creative or to make a living being a creative and just to fit in to something. You feel what I'm saying? I want to have a space for them to feel comfortable and feel heard and feel a part of something. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So like that's the core of like, okay, how can I build a place, a safe place where someone that's like me at 15, 16 years old could feel comfortable, grow, be creative, don't have to do anything outside of the law. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Make an honest income, make an honest living. You feel me? Make something that he could be proud of, that your family could look at. You feel what I'm saying? Feel accepted. You feel what I'm saying? Not feel alone. You feel what I'm saying? All of the things that I felt like I wanted. You feel what I'm saying? Even though I might not experience it to the level that they may not, they be able to experience it, but it's still being able to like be a part of it. Okay. You feel what I'm saying? Be a part of being part of the dialogue, the back and forth, because you feed off of each other. You feel what I'm saying? It's a dynamic that's like powerful. You feel me? It gives you a reason to keep going. You feel what I'm saying? So like that's like the core of it. That's the main core of it. You know what I mean? And the business side, bringing in more companies, being able to make the impact for business owners and help them achieve their dreams. That's on the other side of it, where it's like, we gotta we got to hit our goals. We got to be the standard of excellence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our standard every day got to be excellence. You know what I mean? So that's with the business side, but helping them achieve their goals and their business growth, and seeing that as they grow, they're able to hire more people and make more impacts in the community. So it's those two sides of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I ask that a lot with my clients and people I work with. Because that's what drives me, that spirit of entrepreneurship, and then that why, because everybody's why is different. And it's always great to share that. And my follow-up question with that is, are you doing it?
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, man. 100% every day.
Yeah. And I ask that because sometimes we don't realize we're doing it. Sometimes we're so entrenched in the work, so entrenched in building the perception, building the systems, building the everything. We know what our why is. That's what's driving us, but we forget that we're actually doing our why, and that you're actually living your dream. And that's a beautiful thing,
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%, bro. Yeah. So what about you? What would you say your why?
My why is deep. I would say my why, just a little background myself. First generation family from Haiti. My father was an entrepreneur. He started his business a couple years ago. 25, 26 years in business. So growing up, watching him operate that, you know what I'm saying? Watching some of my uncles and other people in my family operate their businesses and provide for their families and such. And that became my norm, right? Owning a business was never too far from me. I grew up with that. But going through law school and everything, my last semester in law school, I was a bankruptcy clerk in the Middle District of Florida in Orlando. And I was working under 3 judges, just bankruptcy, like the back end of business. People just losing everything. Some people restructuring their debt. Both businesses restructuring their debt. Some businesses liquidating, like they lost everything. It's over. Some of those businesses were family businesses. And I saw them like mother, son come up, father, son, father, daughter, brothers, so on and so forth. Sometimes grandfather, son, another, like 3 generations in that courtroom losing their business. You know what I'm saying? And that really hit me because that could have been us. You know, entrepreneurship is mad risky, as you know. And but there's people out there who take that risk. You know, sometimes that risk doesn't go in your favor. And just seeing on the back end. But when I'm looking at these cases, they give me this big old file on everybody's stuff. I'm looking at these cases. He shouldn't have signed this agreement. They should have had this in place. They didn't have a lawyer. They did not have a lawyer guide them through the entire thing. And like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to help people build their businesses. I want to help people protect their business. I want to work with family-owned businesses. I want to work with people who are just coming to this country, immigrants or first generation, second generation. I'm working with 5th, 6th generation businesses, but it's all to impact the economy. End of the day, the area that we live in, South Florida. I want to have an impact in our economy down here. I want to create jobs too. I want to be a part of the solution of creating jobs. Times are hard. Inflation is hard. Crime is outside. People are taking different turns in X, Y, and Z. I grew up in Broward County. I had friends go left. I went right. Some friends went down. I went up. Like it got crazy, you know. But I want to be able to create situations where people who are similarly situated have opportunities. You know, people make a lot of different decisions because they don't have those opportunities, and this is why you create those opportunities. And I'm helping people who have the desire to do that, get that done effectively and make it profitable, right? Because this is America, end of the day, and we do have opportunities here. You know, there's some faults in our country, but one thing that we do have is opportunity to start a business. You have opportunity to speak freely, move freely, and do a lot of different things. So people who want to capitalize on that, I want to help them do that in the best way possible. Because I've seen how the big boys play, and I want to give that game down to everybody just through this podcast as well, just so we can play on a more equal playing field. Because people just don't know. You know, you're starting a business, and then you want to engage into a transaction with a bank, with another business to get more money. They hand you a 20, 30, 50, I seen a 150-page contract. You didn't go to law school. Yeah. You don't know what to do, but you know if you sign this, you get to do business with them. The whole time you signing your whole business away. Not literally, but they're taking advantage of you. And that could put you out of business. So I want to be there for those people. I want to be there for people who just don't understand. I want to be there for people who have a dream and have the passion, and I'm just here to give you the how. You know what I'm saying? I have some ideas of my own for business, and I capitalize on those. But I see a lot of people have their own business ideas, just don't know how to get to point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they take that first step
Yes, sir.
with me, because they don't know where to go, where to turn to. And that's what it is. I met somebody who lost his business over a lawsuit for about $60,000. And this was like my first year of being an attorney. So this lawsuit happened before I became an attorney. And so I went back and looked at the lawsuit. Oh, I could have won this. I could have, if we didn't win, I would have settled this. And that could have saved his business. But he just simply didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So my why is helping small businesses, which is like 99.999% of businesses in America. A lot of people can't conceptualize that because they walk down the street, they see the McDonald's, the Walmarts, and whatever. But that's like 0.0001% of businesses in America. But the vast majority of businesses in America are quote unquote small businesses. And people try to downsize small businesses, but Ruth Chris is a small business, right? Like people don't even understand that. You know, so small businesses range in a lot of different scales. But I'm here to help everybody. So
that's real talk, man. That's what's up, man. And I share the same sentiments. You know what I mean? Like sentiments.
Yeah.
You understand? Like for real. Nah, that's what's up. And that's definitely why we connected, and that's why we even mesh good on this part. Well, I don't know. We haven't put it out, so we haven't got the feedback.
Yeah.
Yet.
The feedback.
Yeah. We haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like overall with, just bouncing back and forth, talking about different business experiences, and even like your why and our why. So interesting to see how it's so similar. Even though we explained it totally different, it's like, but it's just so similar, creating opportunities. You know what I mean? Creating those real job opportunities, of course, across America, but in Broward County, in our family. Yeah. You know what I mean? Being able to set up certain things, now that we have these insights. Yeah. And not only set it up, but just like walk with me.
Yeah.
Like literally walk from, don't worry about step 10. We're going to walk together from step 1 to step 2. Yeah. And we're going to sit down and look at it and analyze everything and make sure you're okay with step 2. All right, you good at step 2? Now let's go ahead and walk over to step 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? You ain't even got to walk by yourself no more.
Let's get it, yeah. That's it. That's what happens, though, when you're speaking about being alone in this pursuit. But when you are alone, you can only rely on your own knowledge. You build that team that has a diverse skill set, diverse knowledge set. You can really customize it to do whatever it is, because we coming from different angles with it, but it's really the baseline the same thing. And that's something too. We talking about this formula. Take you back to high school algebra 1 class, and every formula, not every formula, I don't know about every formula, but most formulas that we work with in high school, you had a constant and then you had all these variables. And what I'm realizing is, as the more we talk, the constant is you. Because you're talking about being consistent with yourself, so you can be consistent with your business and have a consistent output. You got to be solid with yourself. It's you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know your why. You got to be consistent. You got to be real with yourself, off camera, on camera, off social media, on social media, with a client, without a client, in every facet. And it's really just being yourself at the end of the day. And that's what it is. And that's why we can connect. And then it's the same thing with different clients, different people I come across. People who are themselves, constantly themselves. That's people that we rock with. You know what I'm saying? And that's people who have the most success. You could listen to any other interview or whatever, from a DJ Khaled to Bill Gates to Jeff Bezos to Barack. It's you.
They pretty much the same, right? DJ, they like, damn, DJ Khaled over the top, but he's like that all the time. So imagine me walking around acting like DJ Khaled, but that ain't me. Yeah. Imagine that. Yeah. Or posting on social media acting like DJ Khaled when that's not me.
That ain't you.
You feel what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you, RJ, that ain't you.
That ain't my style. Yeah. I remember when people had the TikToks things going on. Everybody wanted me to dance to get views on TikTok. Yeah. But it's like, okay, you got a lot of views on TikTok from these dances and stuff like that. Did that interpret into more business for you? No.
I know.
So why do I need to dance?
Yeah.
If it's not gonna give real value, okay, I might have the whole ego trip of saying I got a 300,000 likes or views on this TikTok video.
Yeah.
That's good for my ego, but what is it doing for the people I want to serve?
Yeah.
Right? What is it doing for my team? What is it doing for myself?
Yeah.
It ain't doing nothing for me, and that's not my style. It's not my swag, right? It's not. I could dance, but I'm not going to be dancing by myself. I'm Jamaican. I'm give y'all, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give y'all wine. You know what I mean? Talk about no damn. I'm gonna just dance by myself.
Yeah.
Come here, give y'all wine.
Hit a little gouillard,
hit him with the compa.
A little something, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Oh,
real talk, because it's like that's just what you got. I feel like that's one of the main things, and that's even with finding your voice. Because I had to find my voice online. Wow. I had to find my voice with posting and being comfortable. Because this is not the most normal. I had to like work myself into it slowly and surely, but. You know, just getting more comfortable talking on camera. I feel like I might be a little bit better, but like if you look at my very first videos on camera and posting them, I felt uncomfortable doing it the first time, but I felt like I was learning my voice, you know, and then posting it felt even more uncomfortable. People did enjoy the information. So I'm like, all right, it's uncomfortable, but people is getting.
Yeah, you got to put feedback.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I got to keep putting it out. I got to keep being comfortable being myself on camera and no one else. Because if I could do that, you could stay consistent. And that's what the main thing with business owners. You don't have to be the jolly business owner dancing. The most important thing is just be yourself. And what does that look like? What does that feel like? What do you want that to interpret and be like on camera? As long as it's authentic to you, you could do it all day.
1,000. And with that, people place so much value behind likes, behind shares, behind comments, behind followers and everything, and they'll do damn near anything to get that, you know. But one thing, I'm a millennial, you know what I'm saying, but Gen Z, they be real, man, they are in there. And they grew up with social media, right? So it means something different to them, which is not a bad thing end of the day. But I do see them affected because I'm working with Gen Z business owners. They are affected. Like, I don't have this many likes. I'm like, but you're making money. Like, what is your definition of success? What is your scoreboard? You know, you can't let social media be your scoreboard unless you're making money off of social media. You know what I'm saying? Then you can kind of relegate it from there. But if you got like 400 followers and you making 6 figures, 7 figures, do you really need 10 that million followers to do what you need to do? You know what I'm saying? It all depends. Do you want to be an influencer now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So don't tie in success with social media unless, of course, your business is social media. But at the same time, be mindful of that perception. You know what I'm saying? Put that money into that marketing, build that brand. And then, of course, that takes time. Be patient and be yourself constantly.
100%. And that's the formula.
That's the formula.
Yes, sir. Peace.